It is very important in life to treat the things that come to you, the thoughts that come to you, the opinions that come to you as data and not information. It's very important for us to take in what is coming to us, but at the same time, not treat it as information, but treat it as data. What does that mean? It means, from a doctor's perspective, what would be a doctor's perspective? A doctor might say people are getting sick all the time. It's happening very rampantly. Disease might be at an all-time high. People, lot and lot more people are getting sick now. Maybe it's a epidemic. Maybe it's something that needs to be looked at and be very highly aware about. And while all that is correct, the person we are talking about exists in that field and they have information of that field. As per a lawyer, people could be fighting a lot. People could be having a lot of moral, value based fights, lot of verbal disagreements, lot of even physical altercations, lot of disrespect could be happening as per a lawyer. As per a police officer, there could be a lot of crime, there could be an upsurge, there could be a lot of hints about there not being any safety anymore. Okay. From the perspective of, let's say, somebody who sits outside a graveyard, maybe a security guard who sits outside a graveyard, there is a lot of death. Okay. And it's increasing. But at the same time, while all these opinions are correct, they are data and not information. Why? Because this information, as per them, is skewed. What does that mean? It means that they have a lot of information about a few number of people. Okay? They are not wrong. They are not telling wrong things. For a news reader, for a person who presents the news, the world is dangerous. The world is unkind. It is unfair. People are getting taken advantage of. Bad things are happening all over the world. But it is their job to find that information and display it to the world. A world where things are at rest, things are at peace, people are getting along fine, people are falling in love, people are finding great careers, building great businesses. Maybe some of this is information that they send out, but not all of it. So, what is presented is a small portion of the whole reality. While none of these people lied, at the same time, they did not give you a whole truth, because while their information is correct, their perception also might feel correct. It's not the reality. What is the reality? The reality is that yes, people are getting sick, but there are also people who are focusing on health and getting better. What is the reality? Yes, people are fighting, but there are a lot of people who could be fighting, but then they don't go to court all the time. Let's say there are people who are not fighting at all. There are also people who are fixing fights, helping the world become calmer and more together, more united. Okay. Yes, there might be, from a news reader's perspective, uh, discord in the world. There might be problems in the world right now. At the same time, more and more people are becoming spiritually aware. More and more people are following their dreams, their own paths, and finding their own happiness and peace. So, never take data from outside and turn it into information, turn it into wisdom, because what you get from somebody else could be their own perspective, it could be their own interpretation of the world that they live in. People, if especially if they will come and tell you that it is normal to be, let's say, unhappy, it is normal to suffer, it is normal to exist in the world, and it is selfish to ask for happiness. It is not information, it is a data from them, specific to them and their own condition. If we take it personally and we turn it into information and we turn it into wisdom, a day will come when our life will start to reflect that data point as our reality, where we will start to say, yeah, life is suffering, life is unhappiness. It's not supposed to be easy, it's supposed to be difficult, it's supposed to be tough. And if it's tough, it's fine, right? If it's tough, it's okay because that's what life is. And to struggle is fine, to be unhappy is fine, to be in relationships that drain you, fine, to be in businesses that take the life out of you is fine, to be in jobs where you don't like your colleagues, where you don't like your superiors, where nobody gets along and there is constant stress is fine. Do you want that to be your reality? Do you want that to be your reality? It doesn't matter who is saying it, because their opinion, their data could be correct for them. At the same time, it might not be correct for you. It might be a data point and not information and not wisdom. The moment we start accepting data points as points of information or wisdom is when we try to, or when we end up modulating our life, when we start changing our life based on that data. Maybe you moved to a new country, okay, and somebody came, a neighbor came and said, there are a lot of pickpocketers that go on. Always hide your wallet, okay, and be careful of your belongings, and do not let this and that happen and this happen. And you just met one person in a different country, okay, and now your whole perception about that country is that there is pickpocketing, there are people stealing, you are unsafe, your goods are unsafe, your luggage is unsafe. Yes, it might have been correct, but at the same time, was it data, was it information? Because now, let's say you have moved there. Now you live in a reality where you are constantly unsafe. At the same time, your neighbor has never seen one person being pickpocketed in front of them. The place you live, you have a neighbor. This person has never seen pickpocketing in their entire lives. But you met one person who gave you a perception about a country where you were unsafe. And maybe it was their perception because they have faced it. Okay. And why did they face it also? I'll tell you. I used to have a friend. This was a much, much, much older lady and than me, and we were friends. And we used to talk, and every time she used to go into details and she used to start telling stories, it would make me nervous because her stories would scare the living daylights out of me. She would start sharing and she would go on, and somehow I'll not go into stories, okay, because they were mostly negative. So she would say something about something happening to somebody else, and then she would, few weeks later, she would come and tell me about something else happening to another person. Then she would come and tell me about a third person going through the same thing or a different thing, and every time it was a disaster over a disaster, and it seemed to happen around her. Now, it's not that people are bad and they are getting these things. No, it's very simple. You attract in life what you focus on. So if you are the kind of person who likes to watch a lot of, I'm not saying do it, I'm not saying don't do it, okay, just giving you an example. Let's say you spend major part of your focused attention in the entire day on crime series, okay. You watch a lot of crime series, you love it, okay, you want to solve it, you want to see it, you want to go inside the brain of the perpetrator, you want to understand how exactly he did it and how beautifully he got out, okay. It gives you, like, you like it. Now, every time let's not even say turn on the news, but every time you go outside or you meet somebody, people start telling you more information about the crime that is happening. Okay, somehow it's, you don't realize that it's just you, but it's just you. Okay, and people come to you and tell you this happened and this happened and this neighbor, you remember there used to live, that lady used to live there, and that happened to that lady and that happened to that uncle and whatever, but somehow that information keeps coming to you. Why? Because you are sending out the energetic signal of being wanting to be around crime, wanting to be around these things. Okay, these same energetic vibration, or let's say same frequency that these situations have, you have brought yourself on. Okay, and that is how this lady that was my friend, she would keep seeing things around her. And she would watch all this also. I just recalled she did watch all this because it used to happen so much around her that she would start to study it to be aware so that it would not happen to her. And somehow she kept on meeting people that strange things were happening to. And that information might not have reached anybody else, but it reached her. So it was not that she started making these things happen. It's just that when those things happened, the information tended to reach her. So the crime did not increase in the world. Maybe it did by a slight percentage, but not so much that she was generating it. But whenever it happened, she found out about it. So, whatever we send out, whatever we treat as wisdom, whatever we treat as information and not as data, starts to become our life. If we focus on skewed realities or very focused realities, we become part of those realities. I remember there was these people who used to talk about divorces a lot, constantly. This got divorced, this person's that person got divorced, and this also got divorced, and that also got, everybody got divorced. People around them kept telling them about divorces. And then it happened in their own family. And they were so prepared watching all those divorces happen that they mistreated somebody, assuming that one day this situation could happen in their own family. And they mistreated this person who did not deserve it. And she, seeing this mistreatment, fast filed for the divorce faster. Can you imagine? You created a reality in your world where bad things happened, and you started preparing for those bad things to happen. And when you started preparing, it happened to you. This is not data to scare you. Okay, this is information where you can now realize the power that you hold. What does that mean? It means whatever you prepare for will come forward. So if you prepare for a beautiful world, guess what? A future is not far away where you will attract the reality that you want. You will attract the beauty that you want. If you can prepare for it and just simply prepare for it and it shows up, then that's all you need to do, right? You just need to prepare for a world where you are, and then fill in the blank. Happy, successful, in love, right? Maybe a family, whatever you want. Start preparing for a world that looks like that. If bad things can happen like that, why can't good things? At the same time, being aware that information or whatever input is coming in is data and not information. It is data and not wisdom. That you do not need to plan your life around negative feedback, and it's mostly negative, right? It things will never come to you. People will not say, "Oh, you know what happened?" They are so happy. This is not news. Okay, people will not say, "Oh, do you know them? They got married and they're now super happy. Like they can't believe their life. I just cannot believe that that happened." That will never come as news. What will come as news? Do you know what happened with them? They got divorced and now they got married, and this happened and then that happened and this connected to that person. This is news. Very small percentage. But if you choose to make it wisdom, if you choose to make it information, and if you focus on this over and over and over again, instead of becoming the master, now you become a data point. Somebody else now has information. Oh, you know what? That happened, and that, this could be us, right? So, what do? We realize that is it that simple that I just need to just make myself be around the information that instead of draining me, empowers me or makes me feel bigger and more powerful, or it makes me feel like I have reached the best version of myself. And if I just either keep preparing or become that person, I embody that person that has everything good happening to them, then isn't that simple that one day I will be living in that reality? You choose what is information. That information could be imaginary also. Maybe a news item about you where you became this huge sensation that changed the world, okay? Don't treat it as imaginary, treat it as a wisdom.